If I was a bird, I'd eat that. I'd eat out of that. If I was a bird, I'd eat here, and it's conveniently located. My next challenge is to take a good picture of a bird. Now, spring has not exactly sprung yet. The birds are still in their burrows hibernating, but the squirrels are starting to come out. So if I put this out there with a bunch of food, all the squirrels are going to eat it. So what I'm going to do is put that much in there so the squirrels see it, and then they eat it, and then there's no more food for them. And that'll get them used to this being an empty food feeder. It smells like food, but there's no food in it. Then when the birds come out, I'll fill it up. The squirrels will still think it's empty, and only the birds will eat out of it. See this squirrel? He's too lazy to find his acorns, so he's coming to get some bird food. But guess what, squirrel? The bird food feeder's empty. You're gonna have to look somewhere else. This morning I heard the chirping of a bird. There was only one, so all the birds aren't out yet, but it's getting to that point where I think we can move on to the next phase, which is feeding the birds. The earliest birds aren't necessarily the best looking, so I'm not expecting to immediately get my picture, but the early birds are known for getting the best food. So it's important that I get this food out there early so they come here instead of eating worms, so that when the real fancy looking birds do come to town and they hear the rumor of this is the place for the best food, that happens and that they come here. So we're all kinds of filled up. Let's feed some birds. So not 5 minutes after I put it out, but there's already a squirrel eyeball on it. What's about to happen, I can't show you on video, but you can just use your imagination. First bird spotted. Oh, one just flew away, but there's one eating. There was one standing right there. Sadly, there's also a squirrel involved, but the proof of concept definitely worked. I think that birds do in fact like bird food. That's very acrobatic. So we're going to proceed to the next stage of capturing a good picture. Still needs a little more setup. This little gadget is a remote shutter. So I can plug this in, turn that on to channel 7, come over here, so I'm not in front of that giant window, but instead look out this window, shout out, look out this window, see the bird feeder, see when a bird's in a good position, and then hit this button to take the picture. Very sneaky. I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting it to last longer than 2.5 days. The squirrels really went to town on it. But that's okay, we're done the first step. Now I'm going to take out the memory card, see how the pictures that I took actually turned out. See if any changes need to be done before taking the final one. The glass looks a little streaky to me. We'll see if it came out on the picture. I do have a polarizer. It didn't look like I needed it, but we'll see if I need that. And then we'll see if I can find some birdseed that squirrels don't like. Okay, I reviewed the pictures that I took. You don't need to see my face for this. This one's not bad. This is in focus. There's a pretty little bird here. But a lot of the later pictures are out of focus. So that's something I have to check on. I assumed that setting the focus would be good, but apparently it got out of whack. You can see in this one that this is not in focus at all. Back here's in focus, so that's really far in the distance. So I'm gonna have to adjust the focus. It's also showed me that the squirrel is just about at full extension to reach here. So I'm thinking about putting a little extender, lowering this by 6 inches. We'll see if maybe that helps avoid the squirrel problem. So apparently squirrels can climb ropes. However, they're easily intimidated. It looks like they chewed through the rope. So hopefully the half a bird feeder's worth of food that they knocked on the ground will satisfy them for a while. I get some more bird shots in. Apparently I didn't put the lid on very tightly this time. These squirrels are nothing but disrespectful to this whole process. This is my final chance. I'm not buying any more birdseed. So let's hope an eagle shows up or something. Let's see if I took a good picture or not. I took a total of like 85 pictures. I went through and deleted 30 of them that were out of focus or that didn't have a bird in it. And I chose the ones that I liked the best. A lot of them had problems. Like this should have been a good picture, but it's not really. The sun's over here, so the bird's in the shadow, so it's not good lighting. And then I set the shutter speed to be really fast because I wanted to catch some in-flight birds. And I think I set it too high because the ISO's too high, and now it's just not a good quality picture. But I did select my favorites, and here they are. This one I think looks super cool. The bird's out of focus, it's in motion, but it looks cool, in my opinion. This one looks ridiculous. I was trying to catch a good in-flight picture. This is in flight, but the bird looks ridiculous. Looks like a chicken in my opinion. This is a picture of a squirrel, but I thought it looked cool. The squirrel's very twisted. You can see his little feet claws really well. I thought it looked cool. Here's just a nice long squirrel. Again, you can see how he's like grabbing on. Pretty cool, in my opinion. And since that was 2-to-2 squirrels to birds, I decided to throw in another bird picture. The first one that I took out of the whole lot. I think it looks, yeah, I already talked about this one. I liked it. So I threw all these up on Facebook, and I got them to vote on which picture they like better, the squirrels or the birds. I wrote equally funny captions for all of them so as not to bias. And the birds did win. However, I don't think it's a very good picture. So I'm going to say I failed this challenge. Challenge complete, challenge failed.